Determining who was killed first in the Moscow College murders may narrow down who the target was, which could then lead investigators to a possible motive and a suspect. There's been a ton of speculation about who the intended target was in this quadruple homicide. Circumstantial evidence, chatter online, eyewitnesses, that all leads people to different conclusions. But investigators are going to rely heavily on hard forensic evidence to help them determine who was killed first, second, third, and fourth. So let's talk about DNA transfer, which is something investigators are going to look at. Now, operating under the assumption there is one killer and one knife used in all 4 of the murders, the DNA of the first victim will be found on the next victim. So here's a hypothetical to help illustrate this point. So let's say Kaylee is the first victim murdered, and then Maddie. Kaylee's blood would still be on the knife when the killer went after Maddie. Then say they went downstairs and murdered Ethan. Ethan would have both Kaylee and Maddie's blood on the knife, and by the time the killer went for Xana, Kaylee, Maddie, and Ethan's blood would all be present. And we know the 2 roommates downstairs survived, so their DNA and blood wouldn't be in the mix. Blood spatter or a blood trail up and down the stairs, between the rooms, or in and out of the residence could also give investigators an idea of the direction that the killer moved. Additionally, experts who have been reviewing this case have mentioned time and again that the method of killing used in this case, stabbing, is very physically exhausting, and it is nothing like you see in the movies. So by the time the perpetrator in this case gets to the final victim, their adrenaline is probably running low, they're physically exhausted, and the knife they've been using is likely starting to dull or even the tip get chipped off, meaning that the final victim's wounds will likely be less severe than the first.